Ooh.
Athens has long been infamous as a tourist destination plagued by pickpocketing, and having seen posts about it on Reddit, I was staying extra alert and watching my surroundings more carefully than usual. Even so, I was feeling a little excited about the chance to show my family Athens, the cradle of Western civilization, on our long-awaited trip to Greece. After finishing our tour of the Acropolis Museum, we were slowly making our way down to our next destination, chatting among ourselves as we walked. But as we approached the area near Vasilios Kampanis, something very unnatural unfolded before us. A man suddenly dropped 13 20-euro bills right in front of me and started picking them up. Some of you might be thinking, so what's the big deal? But this is actually a classic scam targeting tourists. Of course, in the moment it was happening, I had absolutely no idea it was a crime. It was only after we had walked quite a distance away that something suddenly came back to me, a warning our hotel staff had given us. When we checked in, they had shared a few things to watch out for, knowing we had traveled from far away. One of them went like this. There's been a surge in scams targeting tourists lately. Someone walks ahead of you, drops some bills, and the moment you pick them up, they claim you swapped them for larger bills, then gang up on you with their accomplices to intimidate you. Be careful. The moment that warning came back to me, I felt a chill run through my body. Fortunately, I had 3 cameras rolling with me that day. One had died due to a battery issue, but the other 2 had captured the entire scene. So let me now break down what happened. The man to watch, let's call him Man A, starts out walking quickly along the road, then glances over at us once. He then begins adjusting his pace to match ours, hesitating and biding his time. His original plan was probably to wedge himself between the 3 of us on the narrow path and drop the money there. The idea being to get all 3 of us to bend down and pick it up at the same time. But as it happened, I had stopped to read the Vasilios Kampanis information sign. So Man A plan was thrown off. He passed by me, slowed down even more, and pulled the bills out of his left pocket. He then flinched as if he'd accidentally dropped them, but his hands didn't move at all. Because if someone actually drops money by accident, the natural instinct is to reach out and try to catch it. And did anything seem off about the way the money fell? To fit bills into a skinny jeans pocket, you'd normally fold them in half first. If they slipped out while being pulled from a pocket in that folded state, the stiffness of the paper means they wouldn't flutter apart individually like that. Let's run a quick experiment to verify this. I prepared the same number of bills, 13, to match what Man A appeared to drop. I'd already spent all my euros, so I used bills of a similar texture and feel instead. It wasn't possible to recreate the exact conditions perfectly, but through the experiment, I found that for the bills to flutter apart the way they did in the footage, you'd have to either split them between both hands, spread them out, and toss them, or manually fan them out with your fingers. In other words, Man A didn't accidentally drop the bills. While pulling them from his pocket, he deliberately spread them out and threw them forward. I also believe Man A had accomplices. I think someone signaled him with a hand gesture to time the throw, and my best guess is that it was either Man B or Woman C who were nearby. Here's why I think that. Scammers like these rarely work alone, but more importantly, this spot was right in front of Athens' 74th primary school. At first glance, they might look like parents waiting to pick up their kids, but that's actually what makes it more suspicious. The 74th primary school's dismissal times are 1:15 p.m. for the standard program and either 4 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. for the extended program. But the time this took place was 2:50 p.m., which doesn't line up with any of those times. Looking back at the footage, Man B had been holding that uncomfortable spot for quite a while before this all went down. Also, the 74th primary school has 4 accessible gates in total, and after the standard dismissal ends, gates 2 through 4 are closed, leaving only gate 1 open. And the spot where Woman C was perched just happened to be right in front of that one remaining gate, gate 1. Sitting around like that for so long right in front of an entrance is something anyone would find unusual. Man A, who suddenly flung the bills, man B and woman C awkwardly holding their positions. Every part of this situation was filled with an unnaturalness that defies both common sense and everyday logic. If my family had picked up that money, wouldn't all three of them have come rushing in, threatening us to hand it back? It's hard to imagine it playing out any other way. This experience prompted me to look into the matter further. Recent bill drop scams targeting tourists in Athens apparently fall into three main categories. The first is the type described above. After you pick up the small bills, a group of accomplices swarms you, accusing you of swapping them for larger ones and stealing from them. The second involves the drop money itself being counterfeit. The moment you pick it up, someone posing as a police officer appears and threatens to arrest you for possession of counterfeit currency, then demands money to settle the matter. The third involves deliberately dropping a wallet instead of bills. When you return the wallet, they claim the cash inside is missing and accuse you of theft or pickpocketing. The fourth type is a kidnapping scheme targeting women, where large bills are laced with a drug that makes victims pass out when they smell it. Asian women are reportedly targeted often, so please be especially careful. If you're planning to travel or visit Athens for work, I'd encourage you to familiarize yourself with these tactics in advance. And if you ever spot money, a wallet, or a bag belonging to a stranger on the street, please don't touch it. That is the surest way to protect yourself. This European trip continues to be full of all kinds of experiences. I'm just a hobby YouTuber who loves to travel, and I'm a little embarrassed to find myself increasingly putting out videos analyzing travel-related crimes. But if sharing this kind of information helps make your travels even a little safer and more enjoyable, I'll gladly keep doing it. Anyway, my native language is not English, so some of my expressions may sound a little off. I appreciate your understanding. See you in the next video. Thank you.